Well, it's another exciting edition of Shiftwork brought to you by our friends here at Russell Steaks, Chops, and More. Dr. Kristen Latona is joining us today from the Natural Pain Management and Wellness. Is that correct? I got it all right.
You did.
On the first shot. Dr. Latona, thanks for coming in today.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about what you do and how you got started.
Okay, so what we have is a comprehensive wellness clinic. We have chiropractic, massage, nutrition, yoga, meditation, essential oils, and we offer classes in all of those things. It's just an alternative to surgery and drugs and everything that everyone's trying to get away from because of the opioid addiction and all of that.
There are so many people in pain in Western New York, it seems like. You know, you talk to somebody like myself, it's either your back, your knees. I'm sure you see people of all ages and all spectrums.
We do. I specialize in pediatrics and pregnancy, but as a whole, we see everybody from infants on to up into their 90s. My son, I adjusted the day that he was born. Same thing for my nieces.
So when you say adjusting, what exactly does that mean? Because I think people think, oh, you cracked my back. So what does it really mean?
It's not that hard crack that you would think of for kids and babies. It's very gentle. It's like you're testing the pressure of fruit.
Interesting. And when it comes to kids and pain, maybe kids are playing sports, their knees hurt them, that kind of thing?
That kind of thing, as well as injuries from backpacks, sports, jumping, trampolines were a huge one over the summer, but there's also a whole other end of it that's the wellness-based part where they come in for ear infections, for reflux, for issues with constipation, bedwetting, sleep issues, stuff like that.
How do you keep up with all that? That's a lot to keep track of.
It's a lot of fun. I love what I do.
So how did you get started? What made you want to get into this?
I always knew that I wanted to go into something with pediatrics, and then as I was in school, I also fell in love with radiology. So this seemed to be like a great fit because it's very film heavy, and then I still get to see all my kids and babies.
Interesting. And then owning a business on your own, that's a challenge.
It is. There's a lot of obstacles. It's hard to own a business. It's hard to be a mom. So it's very hard to be a single mom who does all of that. It's hard to feel like you're not spreading yourself too thin and not to feel like you're not giving enough to everyone. But when I see the impact that I have on my patients and what they can do that they couldn't do before, and knowing that I'm a good role model for my son for what you can do with hard work and determination, and then being a woman too in business and as a doctor, because there's not a lot of us. A good role model for my nieces to see something that they can grow up and do, and especially for two of my girls in the office. So it's just important to just keep your goals in mind and keep lifting each other up and keep being positive. Just for them to know that they can do it. As long as they're determined and they work hard, just take that leap of faith and you can do it.
There's a lot of people who don't believe that they can be cured with chiropractic or the types of things that you offer. I'm sure you see that all the time where you encounter people with that. What do you say to them?
I just tell them to give it a try. Like, let's just give it a shot. Let's see. We'll see if I can help you. And most of the time, I do.
Is there anybody that walks in and you're like, I can tell you right away, I know how to fix what you've got going on?
Yes. After 10 years doing this, there's a lot of those people that come in and I know right away. Even people like walking through the store and people in vitamins, like I just want to go fix their problems for them.
So, you know, with the technologies that we have now, people like to go online and kind of self-diagnose or maybe find treatments on their own. How do you handle that too? Because maybe they come into the office thinking they have one thing and it turns out to be another.
WebMD kind of is an issue. I'm sure if you ask any other healthcare providers, they'll tell you the same thing because people come in and they're convinced that they're dying of malaria when all they have is a sprain in their knee kind of thing. So it's going through and it's educating the patient and it's showing them why this is the appropriate course of treatment and why this will work versus something else.
So did you mention yoga as well? So how does that work? Do you offer classes?
We have classes because that was such a huge part of people getting better was remaining active and doing all the stretching and the meditative breathing and things like that to kind of control their pain and then help themselves.
Do you ever see your son taking over family business at all? Is he kind of interested in that?
I don't know. He comes in, he was working all summer, so I guess we'll see.
Like, does he pretend to adjust?
He does, and so do both of my nieces because they've grown up around it, so that's just normal to them. They lay on the living room floor and adjust each other.
What do you guys do for fun? Well, you know, you got to have some family time, so what do you guys find yourself doing?
So I am a boy mom, something that I was not at all prepared for, so we do all sorts of things like monster trucks and demolition derbies and baseball and getting dirty and all the things I never thought I would do.
If I were you, I would take your business card to all those events too, because I feel like a lot of people that go to those may need some adjusting. What should we know about chiropractic care? Is there anything you want to make sure people take away from this at all?
That I feel like in the past it was something that was somewhat of a taboo, but I feel like alternative medicine and alternatives to pain meds and surgery are now becoming more normal. So I think that people used to use that as a last resort in the past, but I feel like that should be a frontline management for pain.
Very cool. Well, doctor, thank you so much for your time today. And where can people find you? How can we get a hold of you if we need some help?
We are on Facebook. Our website is www.npmaw.com. Our office number is 616-9000, and we are on Worley between Transit and Spindrift.
Dr. Latona, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time today. It's another exciting edition of Shiftwork here at Russell Steaks Chops and More.